on to trigger reset. Trigger reset is utilizing the trigger with your finger so you have as little movement on the gun as possible. So what we're gonna do first is, I'm gonna line my sights up. I have my sights lined up. I have my sight picture. We're good to go. So now I'm just gonna touch the trigger. I'm going to let all the slack out. Now it got to a point where I can feel resistance on the trigger. That means that I hit the wall.
When I refer to slack, this is what I'm referring to. As you take out that play, you will feel additional resistance. We refer to this as the wall. When you press past the wall, the gun will go off. When the gun goes off, we want to pin that trigger back to the rear, pause a second, and then slowly let out until we hear and feel a click. This severely limits muzzle motion by eliminating all of the movements that occur while drawing out the slack.
Going nice and slow and smooth as possible. The gun's gonna recoil. I'm gonna line my sights back up again, keeping my finger locked back on that trigger. My finger is still all the way back on that trigger. Now, this is the most important part. I'm going to release my finger just enough to reset it. So about right there, you will feel or hear a clicking sound. And then for my second shot, I'm gonna press nice and slow on the trigger. Gun's gonna recoil again, line my sights up, release it just to that click. And then one more time. Then when I'm done, I put my finger back on the side of the gun. Now I'm gonna turn to my left side so you can see trigger reset on the other side. All right, I'm gonna line my sights up, got my sight picture. Now I'm gonna touch the trigger. I'm gonna let that slack out. Now that I've let that slack out and I've hit the wall, I'm gonna do a nice slow trigger press.
And then let out just to the click.
Gonna line those sights back up. Gonna reset just to that click. Gonna do my second shot. Release it just enough. And that's trigger reset. Now, if you use trigger reset, follow through, and proper sight alignment, your rounds will go where you want them to go.